Usually, whenever I get one of these replays where the straits have been turned to lava, it's a good hour-long game. But today, the replay file was small and the timer was short, so I'm excited to see what's going to go on today. Welcome back to the Brightworks as we take a look at the Supreme Straits, but the seas have been turned to molten lava, spawning on the southwestern side. We have Castian going to be representing our red team. Going for that Armada faction, love to see it. Going for the 2 mechs, 1 windmill, 3rd mechs, 3 more windmills, bot lab start. A little bit unconventional, but certainly not too far off from the norm here. Meanwhile, for our northeastern team, we have the Krogoth. Clearly a Total Annihilation fan. The Krogoth going to be representing the blue team here, again as an Armada commander, going for that triple mech solar panel, double windmill start, a little more conventional, but again, still well within standard. I'm excited to see what these guys are going to do. I had a little bit of a hint from the message that this replay was submitted through. I have a little bit of an idea as to what's going to go on, but to avoid spoilers, I'll not get into those details. Let's just say that there's probably going to be some significant teamwork happening here. Trying to keep up with chat here and try and figure out what exactly is going on, but for the time being, we'll just pay attention to what every player is doing. VS Snake, or V Snake 2000. I thought it was VS Snake. V Snake 2000 going to be on the front line here, right next to Fimby for the blue team. Both of our light blue players. We have sort of a powder blue and I guess like a seafoam blue or maybe an aquamarine blue. Both going to be holding down the front line versus Nued. That's probably not right, but feel free to let me know down in the comments. It's a German player, so let me try and think how that would be pronounced. Nued? No, that's French. I don't know. I'm going to stop trying because I'm just going to embarrass myself. Feel free to let me know down in the comments how that's supposed to be pronounced. We also have Frosty Forever. Much easier for me, my pathetic American accent. Going for that vehicle start here. I love to see the vehicles on Supreme Straits, especially on the map as lava, because that strait is even more choked up, right? There's no there's especially no ambushing going on from the sea lane. There's no way that vehicles are going to be able to go out here until we get well into that T3 stage. So for the time being, it's going to be mass of fire for sure. A little bit of pawn warfare here. These little boys running around with their Gatling guns, their arm cannons, trying to do their best here to run around and shut down some of these units. I feel like as far as the human clones that were grown in the vats to pilot these suits go, I feel like living in a pawn has probably got to be one of the most comfortable, right? It's got to feel pretty much the same as being in a being in a body, right? I have to imagine that it's probably one of the most comfortable out of all of them. Something like the like a construction bot, you don't even have any hands or anything like that. Yeah, probably not as comfortable. But a pawn, I feel like I could pilot a pawn and still be the neural load wouldn't be too much, to put it into Pacific Rim terms. Okay, so interesting. We do have the top player, the blue player. The blue and red, by the way, in case anybody's curious, those are always the two, well, almost always. Sometimes there's glitches that make it not go this way, but 99% of the time, the blue and the red are the two players with the highest open skill value. I always call this true skill, but it's actually your open skill. Anyways, go read on the website, by the way, if you're curious about what that means, the distinction between those two. But anyways, our blue player here did spawn with the geothermal spot, meaning that they're going to be in a pretty good position here to get some units out on the field. So I think that would be, I think that's going to be interesting. The red player did the same thing, though. So we have both of the Titans are going to be up against each other, mirrored spots, mirrored positions here. And that 300 energy per second that this geothermal brings in is nothing to be scoffed at. That's a solid couple of energy converters here. You can see that we actually, we being Castian, has several energy converters out, and we are still overflowing energy. So that's great. The team is still benefiting from the success here. We are going to sacrifice the commander to eat up the juicy metal tied up in that commander wreckage and feed it into a T2 bot lab. Kind of ahead of the curve here. Usually a bot lab comes up about 6 minutes, and it looks like we're on track for maybe 5. First constructor will probably be out by around 6 minutes by the looks of it. This is really nice. This is very, very nicely done by Castian here. Meanwhile, the Krogoth is going for a couple more energy converters, just a little bit behind here. Going to have that more standard 6-minute bot lab coming up here, T2 bot lab coming up. Went for way more energy converters as opposed to sacrificing the commander. That's another way to do it. It is going to slow you down a little bit, but it does leave your commander open in case he needs to clean up anything around the base, or you need the build power here or there. Looking around the map here, and it looks like we have some Centurions leaking out here from Istrebest, going to be in the backline position for the blue team. We've also got a nice windmill farm coming up here for Nostradamus, a fan favorite, by the way, I might say. Nostradamus famous for his maneuver, of which we are all well aware, the transport beamer drop maneuver. Very hilarious, very fun. But based on the length of this replay, the size of the replay file, I have a feeling that's not what we're going to be going for here. Oh, interesting. Somehow the lab did not come up in time. I'm not sure exactly why the production here stalled out. Interesting. Okay, well, all said and done, this lab did end up eventually just coming up at the standard time, despite it being a little bit earlier than usual. So, yeah, both teams getting their T2 constructors out on the field right around the same moment. It's nice to see. So we have a lot of bots being built up here for Fimby. We've got tons of these rocket bots coming up. For V-Snake 2000, we have artillery units coming out of a forward vehicle lab, and then we have the rear bot lab for, I guess, support back here. Energy is a little bit critical right now, though, so we're going to have to see something done about that. Maybe go into an advanced solar panel or two just to boost that energy income drastically. That would be nice to see. We do have both the geothermal spots taken for both teams, so there's this one over here. Oops, that's my draw tool. This one and this one here. And then we also have the geothermal here and here. And I just noticed that we just finished this one up. Man, I cannot draw it. There we go. Oh, well. Sometimes it does odd things, but anyway. Yeah, so finishing up those geothermals is really nice. That's just extra energy that's going to flow into the team. Whether you can use it or not, it's just energy that is going to be available for the team to use. So no point in not having it. It's just a really, really efficient use of metal. Centurion getting a little brave here and walking forward into a light laser turret. It's got the armor plating to stand up to a little bit of laser fire, but I certainly wouldn't want to see this go down here without a fight. He doesn't deserve it. Too innocent are those Centurions. They kind of look like giant walking babies. Look at those plump little bodies. They do waddle, that's for sure. They actually look like those toy ducks, the little wooden toy ducks that would rock back and forth when you push them around. They're very interesting. The design on those is yeah, quite interesting. I do see fighters over here for Rex. I'm wondering if we're going to be going into a bombing run anytime soon. Commander is still available, so that's still 1.2 thousand metal that we could turn into bombers if we wanted to here, but we are instead going for energy economy right now. We also have this bot lab, which we could eat up, so yeah, there's plenty of metal. We don't have the metal in our bank right now. Rex, that is, does not have the metal in the bank right now, but certainly could after not too long here. Nostradamus has gotten that T2 constructor. Not sure if he built that or if it was handed over by the Krogoth, but either way, T2 constructor is up, and we're going to be upgrading all of these metal extractors. I'm going to guess that it was handed over just based on the fact that we're starting with this metal extractor as opposed to these ones back here. Anyway, stepping up to that T2 economy is quite nice. Whoa, we've been building units. Alright, so now is the time that they decide to go. You can see that there are blitzes, and more blitzes, with some more medium tanks as well in the back here. And now is the time to go. Everyone is marching forward, the tanks are rolling in, and the blitzes are seen for the first time here. Let's switch to the player view. There we go. They see the blitzes running past, realizing, oh no, we've been duped. They were not egoing in the back line like we were. Fimby gets some nice D-guns there, but there's tons of blitzes that still manage to make it through on the front line. Fimby's base is in a ton of trouble as these blitzes are ravaging the eco centers. Tons of windmills are going down, the energy extractors, the constructors, the build power, the turrets. Everything has gone up in smoke, and now the blitzes have free reign in the back line. There are no units out yet, and this is looking bad. Some desperation T2 start up, but we don't have the metal to pump out those T2 units, so these blitzes get into the base before the first sprinter is out. One sprinter not going to cut it, though, not against this many of these blitz tanks. And there goes all of the build power. Sprinter is trying to get into the action, but it will be mowed down by all these blitzes, and this push has been devastating. Man, teamwork makes the dream work, am I right? Look at this. Tons and tons and tons of blitzes pushing through already. This was a devastating attack, well coordinated, very nicely done. They were building up forces in the back line here. Everyone was contributing. There was no tech going on. Everyone was just worried about making sure that it was units, and now we can see the fruits of that effort as these medium tanks. Well, those D-guns were actually very nice. Yeah, the Krogoth actually managed to clean up all of those tanks with the D-guns. But was it too little, too late? I think so, as now we have 2 players that have been completely eliminated over here. I'd love to see some res bots eating up all the corpses of these bases here. Commander stepping into the lava for a minute here. Just going to take a quick little lava nap for a second. More and more thugs marching forward. Yeah, this base here for, that's going to be V-Snake 2000 in a lot of trouble. More blitzes running by. They catch the windmills over here, and these can definitely chain react. They're way too close. There go the wind turbines. Massive energy hit against the Krogoth, who does have some of these welders out, but they're not fast enough to stop the blitzes from running all over the base, as now the thugs are marching back. What a great effort here. Oh, I love to see it. I love teamwork. This just completely gets me up in the morning. I love these coordinated efforts here, these coordinated attacks. These are what Bar is all about, right? You have all these teammates, you might as well use them to your advantage. And well, let's just say that the red team made great use of all the team's metal, all the team's resources. The purple team, the blue team, the green team, all those shades, they decide to tap out here as the front line has already collapsed to just a swarm of T1 units. Just goes to show how important scouting is. If 2 or 3 scouts had flown over and confirmed, oh, there's no tech in the back line here, we're seeing massive, massive unit production. We could have called it out, we could have porked up a little harder, or maybe just gotten some more units out on the front, and yeah, maybe we would have been able to hold that. The blue team would have been able to hold that anyways. Thanks a ton for watching. I know this was a bit of a short one, but it was action-packed through and through. Really got off to a start. Just goes to show you, there's more than one way to play the straights. It doesn't have to turn into a T3 battle. You just have to talk to your teammates, be a good team player, and go when the order is called. Also, look at that red economy. Very nicely done. Thanks a ton for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. I would appreciate if you consider dropping a like down below. It really helps these videos take off. And I will see you in the next one. Peace out, everyone.